Mr. President, we congratulate you on the assumption of the Presidency of the Council and appreciate the initiative in organizing today's open debate. A theme that stands pronounced in today's open debate is a call for reformed multilateralism. While many of the speakers have already highlighted the dire need for reforms, I'm confident that several others would also follow suit. This is a clear testimony to the need for reviewing and redesigning the 80-year-old architecture of this august forum in order to make it fit for purpose. At a time when the world is increasingly expressing concerns about the ability of the United Nations to deliver effectively on pressing global issues, reforms are not a choice anymore, but an imperative. In this backdrop, I would like to highlight 7 specific points. First, India has been consistent, categorical, and a major voice with regard to underscoring the need for reforms. I would like to quote Prime Minister Modi, who mentioned in his remarks at the Summit for the Future in September 2024 that reforms is the key to relevance. Second, original structures and frameworks of the UN represent a different period in history. Our world has transformed and the UN needs to change with the times. It has to be reflective of the current global order rather than 1945. Third, addressing the historical injustice to Africa has to be a central element of the reforms. To this end, India has always been supportive of the common African position. In this context, I would also urge those member states whose support to Africa has been limited to pro forma statements to clearly articulate their position on expansion in the permanent category, which is where Africa is not represented. Fourth, the Global South cannot continue to be shortchanged. India and major players in other parts of the world deserve their due representation in the structures of the United Nations. As regards the Security Council, this translates to permanent category membership. Fifth, 3 fundamental principles are essential to the success of Security Council reforms: increase in membership of both the permanent and non-permanent categories, commencement of text-based negotiations, and linking ambitious timelines with concrete outcomes. Sixth, those opposed to expansion of permanent category are status quoists with a narrow focus. Their approach is non-progressive in nature and this can no longer be accepted. Finally, beyond the Security Council, the preeminent position of the United Nations General Assembly as a primary policy-making and representative organ of the United Nations is to be respected both in letter and spirit. I would like to emphasize that India is firmly committed to the cause of reforms, and we will work closely with our friends and partners. We call on all member states to also join this endeavor for reformed multilateralism. Mr. President, beyond the focus of today's debate, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan, Mr. Mohammad Ishaq Dar, has referred to an integral and inalienable part of India, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, in his remarks. I would like to reaffirm that Jammu and Kashmir has been, is, and will always be an integral and inalienable part of India. In fact, it is Pakistan that is in illegal occupation of parts of Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan's campaigns of misinformation and disinformation, of lies and falsehood do not change facts on the ground. The people of Jammu and Kashmir have only last year taken part in a successful election and have voted in large numbers to choose their government. The choice of the people of Jammu and Kashmir was loud and clear. Democracy in Jammu and Kashmir is vibrant and strong, unlike in Pakistan. Pakistan is a global epicenter of terrorism, harboring more than 20 UN-listed terrorist entities and providing state support to cross-border terrorism. Hence, it is a supreme irony when Pakistan pats itself on the back as being at the forefront of the fight against terrorism. India has been a victim of the acts of terror perpetrated by this country through terror groups such as Jaish-e-Mohammed and Harkatul Mujahideen, among dozens of others. Mr. President, there cannot be any justification for terrorism regardless of its form, type, and motive. No political grievance can justify terrorism perpetrated against innocent civilians. This august body can make no distinction between good and bad terrorists. And I request the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Pakistan to take note of it and not further waste the time of the Council in this regard. I thank you, Mr. President.